Hello. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. the, there's one viewer on Twitch. Anyhow, just checking my audio. And yeah, um, took a little while longer to get ready. Anyway, let's get a start. Yeah, blah, 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 that's all, folks. Anyhow, yeah, this is what I over the past 2 years I've sort of developed a stammer. I'm trying to work on it. It's getting better, but yeah, I tend to stammer a lot more. I've never had that problem before. Just a lot of stress and stuff. But anyhow, that's uh, a story for another time. Yeah, so let's get this started. I am gonna recap what I wrote yesterday or last night. Um, all right, so this guy ends up at Ajmal's house, the landlord nearby that saved him the previous night, and now he needs answers, just like any other stupid main character in a horror movie or a spooky story that just could get away scot free, not have any trouble, and just have a happy life. But no, they're stubborn as hell and they want answers, and since they want answers, they get into a lot of trouble. Okay, so let me just read a bit of it. Well, let me read most what I wrote last night. So Ajmal sits there in silence. Ajmal's the landlord, the guy that owns the farm nearby, the one who saved the guy, the main character, whose name is Junaid. Ajmal sits there in silence. He's definitely a good listener. Today I wake up all achy and scratched. I take a shower only to fall down and break my nose and literally choke on my own blood until this weird guard, dressed in an old school uniform, pulls me up. I think I could improve this. Pulls me out. Out. Jaws of death. A few. Okay, just a second. I'm so sorry. Hello. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Uh, a friend of mine needed help, and I had to do that. Hey, JTez, it's nice to see you. Our times finally match, and I'm almost at the end. So this is the last scary scene, and let me read what I wrote. So there are two core characters in the story. One is Junaid, who's the main character, and one is Ajmal, who's the guy that saved him from being eaten up. Being sucked into a portal of fire. Haha, sounds interesting. Anyhow, Ajmal sits there in silence. He's definitely a good listener. Today I wake up all achy and scratched. I take a shower now only to fall down and break my nose and literally choke on my own blood until this weird guard dressed in an old school uniform, pulls me out of the jaws of death. Ajmal's eyes show a slight movement. The guy definitely is the epitome of composure. That's it? That's it. Can I get some answers now? He gets up, a grave expression on his face, looks out the window, and sighs. Apparently, he's collecting his thoughts. He gestures me to follow him along a staircase leading to the rooftop. Okay. Right next to the motel is a minaret called Hidden Minar, a memorial for the Mughal Emperor Jahangir's pet antelope, Mansaraj, which translates to light of the mind. Are you telling me there's an antelope spirit around here? I interrupt. He pauses, looking into the distance. It's getting dark, and he points to the fort nearby. That's the Sheikhupura fort. It's where they imprisoned a Sikh empress, and her spirit still resides there. He pauses for a moment and turns to me. This may sound like a made-up story, but given your recent experiences, do you find it hard to believe? I start sweating. Flashbacks from the night before play in my head, and I can't speak. You could say the fire ants are causing you to hallucinate, he says, while pulling on my hand and inspecting my forearm. What do the captive queen and a pair of floating eyes have to do with me? I don't think there's a connection. Then why am I being dragged along and apparently destined for death? Our conversation is interrupted by the sound of someone yelling. What are you doing? Don't go there. We turn our heads to find Ajmal's servant running to the field towards a man. It's dark, but he has a flashlight. Okay, so there's a slight bit of disconnect here because, just now it's starting to get dark, and all of a sudden there's, it's totally dark and there's a guy with a flashlight. So I've got to add something around here later in the editing phase, to sort of make the transition smooth and make it a little more realistic. All right. Bashir, stop. It's too late, commands Ajmal. The man is in a state of limbo, almost like his steps aren't in his control. His eyes are fixated on something ahead of him, but there's nothing there. Bashir is standing several yards away, tossing stones and anything he can get it. That's all, folks. Another stammer. I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that I'm going to have a stammer for quite some time. I've had it for 2 years now. Okay. Let's go back. His eyes are fixated on something ahead of him, but there's nothing there. Bashir is standing several yards away, tossing stones and anything he can get his hands on, but the guy just floats on. We just stare at the helpless spectators. It's dark and the monsoon clouds are blocking the moon. All we see are outlines in line with the beam of Bashir's flashlight. The whole spectacle is scarier for me. I was saved from the same state just the night before, but deep down inside, I'm curious to know what would have happened if Ajmal's dog hadn't bumped into me that night. While lost in my own thoughts, I notice in the distance another figure, a white shroud. Unable to speak, I grab Ajmal's arm and point in the direction. For the first time, I notice Ajmal's face contort into a very worried expression, but he too cannot do much. The shrouded figure just stands still, much like us, apparently watching the man slowly walk to his doom. The only other thing that's disturbing the scene is the sound of dogs howling in the distance. It almost feels like standing at a sports arena cheering the arrival of the athletes. As if to add to the cacophony, the clouds decide to pour. My eyes remain fixated on the figure in the distance. Okay, J-Tez, you still... I got a little confused on the choking on the blood. I don't mean to sound rude, but it sounds a little rushed, but then again, I've missed a lot. Okay, no, so let me take you back. Dude, I owe you this whole story. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have been able to make this progress. It would have been way more boring than it already is. So, after the day... Okay, so his first night at the resort, he gets lured into a portal of fire where Ajmal's Rottweiler bumps into him and he's saved. The next morning, he's achy and he's scratched, and he has breakfast, typical stuff, and then eventually decides to go take a shower. So, let me go through this scene for you. If you're still here. But what happened? Okay, I wake up several hours later, my body sore. I strip out of my muddy clothes only to find my entire body covered in scratches. I step into the tiny, rusty little bathtub. The water is nice and warm on my skin. I just stand there. Okay, this is starting to... Okay. I just stand there. I just stand there, trying not to focus on the cuts and bruises. I just close my eyes. Therapeutic. It's summertime, but God, does the water feel good. But God, does the warm water feel good. But then I feel an electric current run through my head. I cradle my head between my hands, but the excruciating pain throws me off balance and I hit my face against the side of the tub. I hear my nose crack and just lie there. 1,000 live wires jabbed into my skull and I can't breathe. Choking on my own blood, my survival instinct kicks in and I turn around, resting my head on the tub. All I see is red. Let me fix this. Good thing. Okay. All I see is red. I can't hear anything and I can't scream. Mustering all the energy I try and get out of the bathtub and haul my body. Lead. The last bit of oxygen in my blood, and I can see the light fading. The death seems imminent. This is it. I'm going. But how? Why? My whole body's burning, but I can't do anything. I'm sprawled on the floor, waiting for the time to come. I've given up. This is what death feels like. I can't feel my toes. It's happening. My soul's leaving my body. It's a slow process. My body starts to shake, almost like the soul's wiggling its way out. But I'm waiting for it, desperately. The pain is just too much, and I want it to end. A flashback of me as a child starts to play in front of my eyes. Okay, this is the part where I lost a bit of progress. So after this, he's fading away. He sees himself riding a bicycle. So the memories are starting from like his earliest memory and then progressing. And all of a sudden, he's just totally like almost about to die when he gets pulled out and everything just calms down. He pulls out of the jaws of death, as my friend recommended, and yeah, and then he notices there's no reflection in the bathroom mirror, but when he looks to the side, he notices there's a guard in an old school uniform, probably from the 1600s, and he says, "Run, don't stay here, get the fuck out of here," kind of thing. And that's exactly when the concierge or the motel manager and the staff comes in and they see and they check him out and he's okay, but he's talking all funny. So there's that. Does that make sense now, J-Tez? Okay. I'm sorry if you I'm sorry if you weren't expecting this huge lecture. Anyhow, okay. Whoa, I've got 2 people signed in on Twitch and 2 on Facebook. Whoa, this is probably the most I've had. The highest number. Okay. This is just exciting. Just give me a moment and then I'll start writing. Let's see. So, is there somebody watching? I hope it's okay. Anyhow, okay. Whoa, I've got 2 people signed in. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna start with some music and just gonna start writing. This is it. Let me just pull out my playlist. The spooky song. Okay. I'm hoping you can hear the music. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What are you laughing at, by the way? Okay, I need a little fast-paced track. Yeah, this sounds good. Okay, and just like that, everybody vanished except for J-Tez. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay. Supergen Life. It's inspired by a real life spooky place, haunted place, a fort in Pakistan. It's a world renowned one of those, places that a lot of people talk about. And yeah, you like the song? You like the track? Okay, I'm gonna keep playing it once I stop talking. And I'm assuming Sugar Pen Knife, Pancake Life is still here. So it's inspired by a real haunted fort that was built in the 1600s. Um, the story is called The Bait, where the victim is actually lured in to into something that just sort of. Okay, this is my story, and I can't really summarize it. It's weird. I've been writing it for 12 days now. Okay. Yeah. So to his death. Yeah, that's the right way to say it. So the victim is lured into a scenario where he eventually dies and is devoured by a portal of fire. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna start resume writing, and I'm gonna resume the track since Jitez likes it. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna change the track. This is getting scary. Yeah, this is still more bearable. Jada's just wondering if you can see the text just right. I mean, can you, like, without straining your eyes, can you read what I'm typing? Just let me know if you can. I mean, I've checked it out, checked out my stream on my phone and everywhere else. But then again, you know, it's hard to, you know, I can't tell if other people can read it. Come on. Yeah, at least on my phone, I need to strain a little unless I go full screen. And when I go full screen, it works. Yeah, it's fairly legible, so not too bad, not too bad. Hey Sean, I hope if you're still here, I'd like to say hi. So, okay, back to the... I stand closer to Edgewell. It's all I can do to feel safe. As we watch the body slowly start to disappear, I notice the shrouded figure, its hand raised and then a loud scream overloads our senses. We duck to cover our ears. And its ears. The shrieking sound. So, I've been, you know, I've actually, for the longest time, I've been fond of following these characters like I don't know how to classify them. So a banshee is an Irish legend, a female spirit whose wailing warns of a death in a house. So a banshee warns, which would mean that she would sort of forecast a death instead of just shrieking right there. However, I could actually incorporate that in my story. We duck to cover our ears. The shrill sound is overwhelming. A banshee. But they're supposed to okay, we could actually... duck to cover our ears. The shrill sound is overwhelming. The shrill sound, the shrill noise. Shrill noise, I guess. It's overwhelming. A banshee? But they're supposed to foretell death, not witness it. After what seems like ages, we're able to stand back up. So, I think I could actually switch places and change scenes. You know? I think this is a pause that's really uncalled for. A banshee, but they're supposed to foretell a death, not witness it, I say. Son. The Empress's son. Well, this is too many sons. The Empress's son was taken away from her. She died waiting for him to be released from prison. Ajmal has a way with timing his words and allowing pauses for them to sink in. So she relives her memory. This is the only explanation I've been able to come up with. Our conversation is interrupted when Bashir appears at the door, his clothes drenched. Sir, our guest room is ready. The guest room is ready. Should I serve dinner? Yes. I really need to finish this story. I mean, it's high time that I did. And it's gonna be under 3,000 words, which is probably... Trumpster Fires biography? No, Deacon. Hey, Alex, I hope you're still around? No, you've left. The Empress's son was taken away from her. She died waiting for him to be released from prison. Ajmal has a way with timing his words and allowing pauses for them to sink. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna change the playlist to something a little lighter. Um, I don't know why, but yeah. Since I'm close to the end, I think I could go with something, light and sort of like celebrate uh, the end of my first short story. Yeah, that sounds good. Oh my god, I think I might have come up with a fairly decent ending to this story, primarily because it makes you think. You know, just the last words. So what now? Should I go back to the lodge again? You may if you like. Is it safe? Her weekly reenactment is over. I'm kind of excited. Yay! I'm actually really genuinely excited. I feel accomplished. I've actually written my first short story. I mean, it's nowhere near complete because there's missing chunks that I have to fix. But yeah, baby. I'm so glad I started this. Oh god, let's see how many words have I done so far. $24.37. So give or take, I'll make it slightly over 3,000 words once I've revised things and stuff. Oh. This feels good. I mean, it's not overwhelmingly good. I'm not too excited. But yeah, it's something that I've always wanted to do, but didn't really have the motivation to. I mean, things kept popping up and stuff like that. And I hope JTez is back, but dude, if it wasn't for you, I would have probably given up that day because the story was turning out to be pretty boring. I mean, it still probably is for, somebody that just picks it up. But yeah, actually, this feels good. And since it's the 18th, I have, I don't know, 12 more days. And if I can finish 2 more stories now that I've sort of gotten the hang of things, if I can finish 2 more stories, I'll be good to go. My initial plan was 4 stories. That's 1 story a week. This one took a little longer. But if I plan out the other 3 real well, maybe I could finish 1 in every 3 days. Ooh, that'll be a great feeling, to be honest. Oh god. Jtez, I'll wait for you to come back. So let me know when you are. I just want to show you what I just, the ending. I mean, I'm sure it sort of ends abruptly. It still does. Jtez. Jtez. Let's see what's up on TikTok. Okay, I'm gonna mute the microphone so that the video doesn't, get silenced because of some copyright claim. I'm waiting for you, Jtez. Okay, waiting for JTez. If you're gonna come, man, I wanna show you. I've finished it, but I don't think. I mean, it's been a while since you left that message. When did you go? It's been about 12 minutes. Yeah, 12 minutes since you left. I'll wait another couple of minutes. I mean, it's not like I have anything else to do. I'm just gonna crash now. In the meantime, let's just play some music. guess I'm gonna go now. Waited. J-Tez, I'll catch you in a day or two whenever, I hope to match your timing because, yeah. Tomorrow I'll be back with a new plot and a new story while I edit this one during the day when I have time. And to anybody that's watched this episode of live streaming my writing session or might watch in the future, thank you so much. Excuse me. Ciao.